Imagine it's Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. Your alarm clock goes off. You promised yourself that you would start the week differently, exercise, eat healthier, be more productive at work. But when you open your eyes, that feeling of motivation you felt on Sunday night is just gone. It's gone. And you ask yourself, what's wrong with me? The answer will surprise you. Absolutely nothing. The problem isn't you. It's that our entire culture is built on a giant lie about how we actually change. We live in a society obsessed with motivation. Self-help books, inspirational blog posts, lectures that promise to transform your life in 18 minutes. But if motivation really worked, why do so many smart, well-intentioned people continue to struggle with the same problems year after year? Here's the truth no one wants to tell you. Motivation doesn't work. Not in the way you think. And today you're going to find out exactly why, and more importantly, what actually works instead. Let's start with an inconvenient reality. Every year, millions of Americans make New Year's resolutions. Gyms fill up in January. Productivity apps sell out. Everyone is motivated. But research shows that 92% of those resolutions fail before March. Not because people are lazy or weak, but because they're using the wrong tool for the job. Motivation is like the weather in Chicago. Unpredictable, temporary, and completely out of your control. You can wake up feeling like you can conquer the world, and 2 hours later you're completely discouraged because traffic is heavy or you received an annoying email. Basing your life on motivation is like trying to drive from Los Angeles to New York City with only the wind to push your car. But our culture teaches us the exact opposite. We've grown up believing that successful people are those who are always motivated, always inspired, always energized to take the next step. This is a dangerous illusion. Successful business leaders don't wake up every day eager to work. Elite athletes don't feel like working out every time they step into the gym. The difference is that they don't rely on their feelings to get the job done. And here's where science comes in. When researchers studied how our brains process motivation, they discovered something fascinating. That wanting to do it feeling we call motivation is mostly dopamine, the same neurotransmitter involved in addiction. You get a rush when you think about changing, a rush when you plan to change, and another rush when you start to change. But after a few days or weeks, your brain adapts. The novelty wears off. The dopamine levels drop. And suddenly, doing the same thing that excited you last week seems like an impossible task. That's why you can attend a motivational talk and leave feeling like you can conquer the world, but the following Tuesday you can barely get out of bed early. Your brain has already adapted to that dose of inspiration. You crave more and more and more, just like a drug. And so you find yourself in a perpetual quest for motivational content, always looking for the next fix, the next inspiration, the next secret that will finally make you change. But what if I told you there was a completely different way to think about change? A way that didn't depend on how you felt, what happened in your day, or whether you woke up motivated or not. Think about how you pay your bills. Don't you wake up every day wondering, am I motivated to pay my electric bill today? Of course not. You've probably set up automatic payments, or have a system in place where certain bills are paid on certain days of the month. You've created a system that works regardless of how you feel about paying bills. And guess what? Your bills get paid every month, no drama, no stress, no motivation. Now imagine applying the same logic to exercise, nutrition, personal development, or any area of your life that you want to improve. Instead of asking, how do I stay motivated? You ask, how can I make this inevitable? Big corporations understand this perfectly. A technology company doesn't leave innovation to inspiration. They have systems in place, structured processes, regular meetings, clear metrics, specific deadlines. They know that if they rely on employees' spontaneous motivation, they'll go bankrupt in 6 months. So they build systems that produce consistent results, regardless of how each person feels that day. Professional athletes do the same thing. They don't just go to training when they feel like it. They have set times, specific routines, and prepared environments. The system is there working whether they feel like it or not. And that's why they are consistent enough to compete at the highest level. The difference between a casual gym goer and an athlete isn't motivation, it's system. The casual gym goer goes when he feels good, when he has time, when he's inspired. The athlete goes because it's Tuesday at 6 a.m. period. One has a system, the other has hope. And here's the beauty of systems. They dramatically reduce the mental load of your day. When you have a solid system in place, you don't have to spend mental energy deciding whether or not to do something. The decision has already been made. The system decides for you. This frees up your mind to focus on more important things, and significantly reduces the stress and decision fatigue that most of us carry around with us every day. Let's make this practical. Let's say you want to exercise regularly. The motivational approach would be, I'll start going to the gym when I feel motivated. The systemic approach would be, every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 a.m., I'll do 20 minutes of exercise in my living room. See the difference? One depends on external factors and temporary emotions. The other is an architectural decision about how your life is going to work. Or think about learning a new skill. Motivation says, I will study programming in my spare time when I feel inspired. System says, every day from 7 to 7:30 before I check my phone, I will do one lesson from the online course. One is a vague intention, the other is a specific commitment with a set time and place. The magic happens when you realize that you don't need to make big, dramatic changes. You just need to make the behaviors you want to cultivate easier to do than to avoid. If you want to read more, leave a book on the coffee table and put the TV remote in a drawer. If you want to eat better, wash and cut up fruit on Sunday and refrigerate it in clear containers, while keeping processed snacks out of sight. This isn't about heroic willpower. It's about clever behavioral engineering. You're designing your life so that the behaviors you want become the path of least resistance. Take the example of saving money. The motivational approach is, I'll save whatever's left at the end of the month. The systemic approach is, every day $200 will automatically leave my checking account and go into a savings account. One depends on daily discipline and favorable circumstances. The other happens without you thinking, consistently, month after month. The secret is to start incredibly small. If you want to meditate, don't start with 30 minutes a day. Start with 2 minutes at the same time in the same place every day. If you want to write a book, don't plan on writing for 2 hours a day. Start by writing one sentence. One sentence. It sounds ridiculous, but after a week of doing this, you'll naturally want to write more. And after a month, you'll have a solid writing habit. The rule here is simple. Make the habit so small that it's impossible to fail. Because consistency matters much more than intensity. It's better to do 5 minutes of exercise every day for a year than 2 hours 3 times a week for 2 months and then stop. And here's something that will change how you think about discipline. Discipline isn't about having supernatural willpower. Discipline is about designing your life so that the right choices are the most obvious ones. When you have solid systems in place, being disciplined becomes easy. When you don't, even the simplest tasks seem like impossible mountains to climb. Think about it. Are you disciplined about brushing your teeth? You probably don't even think about it that way. You simply brush because it's part of your routine. It has nothing to do with motivation or willpower. It's just what you do. And you can apply this same systematic logic to any area of your life that you want to improve. If you've been following along this far, you're probably starting to see your past struggles with behavior change in a new light. And if you're finding value in this perspective, there's plenty more where that came from. This is exactly the kind of practical, evidence-based approach we regularly share on this channel. Strategies that actually work, not just fancy theories that sound good on paper. The liberating truth is this: you don't have to feel motivated to live the life you want. You don't have to wake up every day energized and inspired. You don't have to be a naturally disciplined person or have exceptional willpower. You just have to be smart about how you structure your life. When you stop chasing motivation and start building systems, something interesting happens. You develop a different kind of confidence, not based on how you feel but on what you know you're going to do. You stop worrying about whether you'll feel like going to the gym tomorrow, because you know you'll be there at 7 a.m. whether you want to or not. That certainty brings a peace of mind that motivation can never provide. And here's the final insight that could change everything for you. Motivation ebbs and flows like waves in the ocean. But the systems you build today will determine who you will be in a year, 5 years, 10 years. They are your true superpower. Not the ability to feel motivated, but the ability to take action regardless of how you feel. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one area of your life that you want to improve. Just one. And for the next 7 days, instead of trying to motivate yourself, build a small, simple system. So small that it feels too easy to fail. So simple that you can do it even on your worst day. Because at the end of the day, you don't need more motivation. You need better systems. And when you master the art of building systems that work, you'll discover that the life you always wanted was waiting for an architect, not a dreamer.